All right, so good morning. We are here for our Thumbtack Fireside Chat. I'm Melissa Merrill from Workiz. I am a partner development manager here based in San Diego, California. And today I am here with Didi Azaria, our CEO. How are you?
Good morning, everybody. How are you?
And he's joining from our office in Tel Aviv. So we have a global team at this point. We have offices in San Diego, in Austin, Texas, and even a few people stationed around the US, plus obviously our office in Tel Aviv. So we'll also hopefully have a user of both Thumbtack and Workiz joining us here shortly. His name is Robert, but we're just gonna go ahead and dive in. So today, we're chatting all about our newest integration with Thumbtack. Thumbtack is an awesome service pro marketplace if you haven't already heard of it. If you're a service pro, I'm sure you already have heard of it though. So it's great for lead generation for any home service business. So junk removal, locksmiths, appliance repair, pest control, carpet cleaning, anything you can think of, you're likely to find it available as a service with other service pros on Thumbtack. And so today we're going to make the session as informative and interactive as possible. If you have questions throughout, you can put them into the Q&A box. There won't be a chat box today, but you can pop that into the Q&A box and we'll take some questions at the end. And then we'll save time for, Q&A at the end there. So let's dive right in. So Didi, can you tell us about yourself first and how you came to Workiz, how this all happened?
Absolutely. Thank you very much for the intro, Lisa. So surprisingly or not, I was a service pro about 20 years ago in LA. I was a locksmith, a bad locksmith, so never hired a guy like me. But I did try. And I spent about 6 months doing that, traveling the 405 in traffic. It was back in the days where there were no cell phones. So imagine, how to navigate with the Thomas Cook guide through traffic. And after 2 hours on the 405, you find yourself at the client's house. Where is the client? Nobody knows. There are no cell phones, yada, yada, yada. We all know the story. Luckily, we have technology today. So I was miserable back in the days, but it gave me a good perspective about this business. Got back to what I like to do, which is computers mainly. I studied computer science, and at some point in my journey, I founded a very successful analytics company in Israel, in the US. It's a very big company today. It's considered to be one of the biggest analytics company in the world. And 13 years later, two guys came to my office asking for help. I'm investing and helping a lot of young guys to, giving them tips to succeed with their initiatives. These guys were Dan and Harris, locksmiths from San Diego. They did very well. Actually, quite the opposite of me in the locksmith space. And they decided at some point after selling their business to take their experience and build something for field service people. So taking everything they learned, and they learned a lot about, the non-locksmith thing. So it's the management, the admin of the business, and they got really good at it. So they decided to learn how to code a script. They put it on the computer, and at some point, their friends started coming in and say, "Wow, this is amazing." Long story short, a few years later, it became a substantial part of their life. Few hundreds, of their friends, mainly in the West Coast, using a software called Send a Job, and it got so big that they needed help. So again, going back to our meeting, finding these guys at the office, not a startup guys, they're locksmiths. They think like a locksmiths or service pros, but at the same time, they have this spark on their eyes. I love the spark in the eyes. I mean, this is what makes a good startup, not your knowledge in computers or your knowledge in code. It's the same. I mean, if you have the spark, if you have the passion in any business, you will be successful. It doesn't matter what the challenge is. And I saw that. And I mean, it's a long story, but we fell in love. I cannot explain it in any different way. We complete each other. I was an awful locksmith. They were an amazing locksmith. They were an okay startup guys, and I'm not sure an awesome startup guy, but I was pretty good. And this marriage was pretty good. I mean, we really liked what we're saying. Since then, we're together for the last 3 years. We grew like crazy. I mean, from a few hundred customers, we have a few thousands. Company is doing very well, and thanks to many of the people around here, I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy that we can help the industry to grow and to get better.
Yeah, I love this story so much. I love it so much because the fact that you were all locksmiths, the fact that you all met each other, the fact it just was like the perfect storm for this to all happen. So thank you for building this awesome company. It's so cool to be here too. So here at Workiz, we're definitely passionate about making work easy. Like Didi just said, you know, it's all about being a successful home service pro in a way that's efficient, it's organized, it's process driven. You're able to grow and scale that way. You're able to hire more, you know, more of a team that way, able to open multiple locations that way, things like that. So we're all about eliminating those manual processes, right? Because as you're growing, as you're scaling, it can be really hard to have to text every single customer the night before their appointment. It can be really hard to have to manually enter an invoice and mail it to someone or email it individually to someone. It can add up, right, when you're trying to grow and scale. So we're all about automating those crucial touch points between service pros and their customers. Recently, we've launched this amazing Thumbtack integration, which has been such a game changer for home service pros, especially as customers, just like me. I own a condo here and I want instant gratification. If something's broken, if a pipe is leaking, if I'm locked out of my vehicle, if my stove breaks, whatever happens, I want it now, right? Customers want instant gratification and truly on-demand services. So Thumbtack plus Workiz really sounded like a no-brainer to us. And so Didi, I'm curious, what do you see as the greatest value for Thumbtack and Workiz pros from our partnership?
I've been in sales for all of my life. I mean, hide it or not, you eventually need to sell the product. And I've built great sales team all around the world. And I find a lot of similarities between being a locksmith, a plumber, doesn't matter. Interacting with your customer and selling them your services and you know, whatever you fix. And looking at, you know, what many other companies are doing these days. I mean, our clients, you usually get a request from one of your potential customers, and you respond, and they close it or not. And we figured out, I mean, very similarly to the high-tech industry, that response time is crucial. As soon as you're going to reply, you're more likely to close the job. Not many people understand it even today. I'm going to take care of it tomorrow. I'm going to take care of it in an hour, and so on. But response time is crucial because usually in emergency world, or even I would call it even a TikTok world, everybody wants everything faster, sooner, right now. Or, you know what, even if you cannot get there, you know, in time, or you're going to schedule for next week, they want to know that you're going to get there in a week. Just the knowing feels less anxious, I guess. And we figured out that the response time is crucial. So if you're getting leads from everywhere, in this case, Thumbtack, and we can automate in some way this process of responding to a client inquiry, we will win more deals. And guess what? It's happening every day right now with hundreds of clients that are already onboarded into the system. They're getting a lead automatically into the system. This means that Thumbtack pushes leads automatically via their backend to the Workiz communication center. That's what makes us unique. Most of our clients, that's what they're using today. You get it in your messaging center, and you can decide, do I want to reply? Do I want to make it a job? Do I want to make it a lead? And we reduce response time in thousands of %. How can it be? You know, it could have been days. It was days beforehand, and now it's less than a few dozens of minutes.
Yeah.
And guess what? I mean, I'm going to give you the bottom line. Tens of thousands of dollars were created, additional tens of thousands of dollars were created after 3 days of integration. And this is not anything that goes into Workiz. This goes to your to all of our service pros that are working so hard for their money and paying so much money for their leads.
Yeah, It's such a game changer. This faster response time is, we're seeing amazing numbers. We're seeing like, these response times going in record time. Thumbtack hasn't seen it before. Thumbtack is super excited that with this integration, obviously, their customers are happier, their users are happier, our users are happier, our home service pros are booking more jobs in less time. Easily, right? That's the whole point, is all of this is easy. We're here to make your work easier. And so it's so cool to see how those leads land directly into our customers' Workiz accounts so that they can automatically turn those leads into new scheduled jobs. And I love that the communication with the homeowner starts instantly at that point, instead of, me as the consumer waiting for the locksmith to come, or the appliance repair tech, or the junk removal guy, or whoever it is to come to my house. I know, okay, they got it. They're on it. They're going to dispatch me out someone. They're going to schedule it, and I'm going to get my job done. And that makes me really happy, and makes me happy to use that service pro again, and also use Thumbtack again, right? It's like a win-win.
Exactly.
So what do you see? I'm curious, we're in 2021. We've kind of come out of this pandemic. Just here in California, I guess 2 days ago, we, reopened the state. Things are opening back up. What do you see now as the biggest challenge that's facing the home services industry today?
We see it in Israel, so I can reflect on what's going to happen in the next few months. When the market is finally open, I mean, tourism, to flights, and everything that's related to food, and people enjoying their lives, requires a lot of service people. I mean, just think about a concert that we haven't been, in for a long time. You have cleaners, you have guys that, security guys, and so many services are serving these industries. But a year and a half later, not too many people are in the industry anymore. Many people changed their jobs. Many technicians are not in their job anymore. I feel that the greatest challenge would be to hire new people and to train them to fulfill the demand. And the demand is getting higher. I mean, we clearly see that it's not just the summer, right? Any business that's reopening right now needs an HVAC cleaning, needs a carpet cleaning, needs, appliance repair, and, just name it. They need it because otherwise they won't operate in the right way. This means that every service company will have a lot of stress to fulfill this need. And some of these companies are going to get very successful. How they're going to do that? Fulfillment, quick fulfillment, of course. The ability to hire and train the technicians really fast. This is what we call streamlining your processes. So we're helping you to admin everything, in the back office. But as a service manager, you definitely need to make sure that you hire the right people, you train them, you actually spend time with them. Don't just throw them away into a job. And make sure they're presenting you in the right way, because your customers never forget. And we have a joke among service pros or even startup companies. Doesn't matter. How much would you pay to remove any bad review? How much is it? Is it $100? Is it $1,000? And we got to numbers like $1,000.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So that's basically how I see the struggle. There are many struggles, of course, but this is going to be the main struggle all around the States in the next few months.
Yeah, I think it's a huge boom now that, everybody's opening up. I know even with unrelated to home service, but like car mechanics are totally flooded now because everybody's driving again, right? You can't even get an appointment now to get an oil change. So it's the same with, getting a roof done or getting your landscaping done or whatever, it's just booming. And obviously summertime is the busy season for most of these home service pros, especially HVAC, obviously with air conditioning, and as it gets hotter and hotter here in the summer. So I just think customer service is so key. Like you said, it is the age of reputation management. One bad review can wipe out, 50 of your great 5-star reviews on these service pro marketplaces and places like Google and Yelp. And so you really want to make sure that you're finding the right talent. You're really training them well. Like Didi said, you're not just throwing them into the job. Okay, good luck. How are they showing up to the job? Are they wearing a uniform? Are they wearing professional attire? Are they showing up in a company branded vehicle? Things like that. So, okay, it looks like we have Robert joining too. So we'll let him pop on. But yeah, I so appreciate you, Didi, and your passion for service pros. You know, it's crucial that this industry booms and keeps going and keeps growing, and it's essential. And I just love to see all the growth. Oh, hey, Robert.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
We're good. So this here is Robert Kenigsberg. He's based in Los Angeles, and he is a locksmith that has, you know, speaking of team members, he's grown his team there in the LA area and has specifically used Thumbtack for a ton of his lead gen. So Robert, do you want to tell us a little bit about your company?
Yeah, so first of all, hello to everyone. I'm Robert. I run a locksmith business in the LA area named the HR Locksmith. We operate a team of professional technicians for about 6 years. We provide complete locksmith service. We do residential, commercial, automotive. We do all types of safes, all types of doors, services. We do 24 hours emergency service as locksmiths. And we love what we do. It's the locksmith business is part of my life. It is my life, and yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, we were just chatting before you jumped on about how, you know, Workiz was also started by locksmiths, right? So locksmiths are near and dear to our heart. And it sounds like you've found amazing success in utilizing Thumbtack to help generate leads for your business, which is also run on the back end with the help of Workiz. So as a locksmith, what's your favorite part about using the new Workiz and Thumbtack integration?
Well, as a locksmith and as a business owner, both Workiz and Thumbtack are amazing tools. Workiz is fast, it's on demand, and it's easy. It's right now, you can use it right away. We are always on the field and a lot of time in the office, and the work with Workiz is constant. We're always using it. You use it for the estimates, invoicing, credit cards. Everything is being done fast and easy.
All the things.
Thumbtack, yeah, everything that needs to be done, it can be done right away. So it's great. Thumbtack is a great tool for lead generation. The lead price is fair. The phone app is incredible and it's very user-friendly, so it's good to use. My favorite part about Thumbtack is the communication. It's modern, so the chat, it's instant, it's well-designed. You can easily send pictures to the customers and get it back if needed, so you can see more details about the job.
Yeah.
Great tool.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, because many people are, and we even have a question in the Q&A here. Many people say that they feel that somebody got to the lead first, or they don't find a lot of success in the Thumbtack leads. Can you share with us some tips on how to close more Thumbtack jobs?
Yeah. Hey, you need to be quick. You need to be quick. You need to give a good response, and you need to be right to the chase. So when you get a new lead, you want to respond first or second, at least, to the lead. Besides having a good profile with good reviews, that people look at that too. But people are looking for someone who can give them the service right away. They're contacting you because they need you. Sometimes it's an emergency, and they want someone who can get a job done quick, on time, and professionally. So the app provides you the tool and the platform to answer fast. It's very, very user-friendly. You get notifications to your phone, to your computer. So it's not hard to respond quick if you're on top of it and really want to get it done as it should.
What do you do? What do you do if you're in the middle of a job? I mean, let's assume you're the only technician out there, and you get an incoming with an emergency. How do you respond to this kind of emergency?
So let's say you're on the field and you're taking care also of the leads or answering the phone at the moment. Everything works through your phone, so you get a notification. It's like getting a text. Everyone, when they get a text, they immediately take the phone out and look at it. You can set a different ringtone to the Thumbtack notification, so you know it is a Thumbtack notification, and you right away pop it up and respond to the chat. Another great thing that the Thumbtack actual app has is the saved messages. So you can have pre-saved messages and respond quickly to the customer as an initial message and continue from there. So let's say I'm on the field and identification, taking the phone out and making 3 clicks is going on the app, going in the saved message and saving them and sending the message. Takes about 5 to 10 seconds and you keep going. If the customer responds back, sometimes it's with a call, and from there it goes easier.
Thank you.
I used to use Thumbtack in my service business as well, and I was always amazed at the quality of leads that would come through, because those would always turn out to be like my VIP clients, like my MVPs, you know. And it starts with that first intake, that first, you know, making sure that you're answering right away, making sure you're responding to their lead request right away, making sure you're providing that great customer service and that great response time. I think that's what people really want these days, for sure. Now, Robert, as far as technology, you know, obviously we're in the digital age. We're all about automating home service businesses, helping them run the day-to-day operations. So how do you feel like technology helps you book more jobs and ultimately make more money? Like, can you think back to maybe a time in your business where you were running on pen and paper, or you were running on Excel sheets, and then, you know, kind of walk us through how technology has really changed the game for you?
Yeah, well, to me, technology is being able to run your business from on the go, and these two platforms make it possible. With Workiz, nothing gets missed. So all the appointments are on time, payments are easily collected from the customers when needed, and price estimates are approved quickly because you can send them right away professionally, and it looks really good. That way, we book more jobs. We don't miss anything.
Do you prefer to send the invoices with a text message, or you're just asking the technicians to take the money in the field?
The question is if we do prefer to send an invoice with text message. Depends on the customer. Some customers would rather, you know, especially the younger ones, I don't want a piece of paper. Send me an email. Send me a text. You know, it's quicker. Even with business cards, it became this lately. People rather have a digital business card, not the old-fashioned business card, because they lose it, they throw it away right away. So
you know, I was a service guy, and I hated to get you know, to the end of the week with all the unpaid invoices. Do you find it useful to send a blast to all the unpaid invoices as a feature we added to Workiz this year?
Oh yeah, every Sunday evening I see and send all the unpaid invoices. That's part of my Sunday evening. Just going over all the customer that needs to pay and sending it over, text and email, so they cannot miss it. And you can add 2 emails too, so you can see another email, they get it.
And do they pay after they get this blast?
They answer, at least. You know, they know we're on top of it. They know we are sending it. You can send a message, hey, this is unpaid, this is due. They answer, so they know it's going on, and eventually they pay exactly.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
And I'm a millennial, so I totally agree with what you're saying on the texting. Like, I don't want paper clutter. I have barely any paper in my house anymore, unless it's like, you know, a tax document that I have to keep for 7 years. But yeah, I want the text message. I want the one-click payment link, and I'm done. I don't have to think about it. So, you know, these companies that are like, you have to pay with cash. Well, I don't want to go to the bank. Who pays with cash anymore? I have to pay with check. I don't even have a checkbook right now, you know? So I just want the one-click easy. I think technology is the way to go.
And honestly, it helps getting returning customers, because if customer needs you again, you're on his phone. He doesn't need to look for your business card somewhere or the invoice. You're on his phone. He has your phone number, easy to find you. Yeah.
I have a tip on that, right? So we have a lot of text messages that we get from many people. When you're starting and ending your conversation, just say, you know, I'm Robert the Locksmith. This is how they will search this message. But, you know, they don't, in many cases, we don't save these phone numbers, but we do search within the text messages. And I will just, you know, search Robert the Locksmith, and I'm going to find you immediately. And I'm going to, you know, guess what? I'm going to text you and not even call you, because I know you're there. And it's like one click away, as you said. So just remember that, give your first, even your last name, that it's really important, and give your profession, because otherwise they will never find you.
Yeah.
Good.
I love that tip. And I think too, like, it's totally time to move into the digital age. If you guys aren't there yet, you know, for those of you watching the replay on this, if it's 2021, you know, what are you doing? What are you doing? Still doing pen and paper or paper invoices or only accepting cash or check? It's time to really get with the times. So a little bit more too on our Thumbtack integration. Thumbtack leads are able to land directly into the Workiz app so that our pros can respond to them super fast. Like Robert said, you know, you need to be that one or two top pro that's responding, because think of your area, think of your local area. How many other junk removal guys are there? Locksmiths, appliance repair guys, pest control companies. Like, you're kind of swimming in the sea of competition when it comes to getting your bid in, right? So you want to make sure that you're responding very quickly. Like Robert said, you got to be that first one or two people that respond. And so, you know, also like Robert said, the communication with the homeowner starts at the same time through Workiz so that the conversion rates are much higher. Because if you're, you know, dilly-dallying or you're on another job, say you're a plumber, you have your head under a sink, you can't exactly answer every single phone call and you can't exactly respond to every single text. You're not waiting at your computer for Thumbtack leads to come in all day, right? It needs to be that instant response where you have automations in place that are gonna make sure you don't miss phone calls, make sure you don't miss text messages. It's perfect for instant communication. So I want to just ask the audience too, if you have any questions, now would be the right time to pop them into the Q&A box down below. It's just that little message icon. If you have any questions, we're not going to be unmuting folks today to ask them in person, but feel free to pop any questions you might have into the chat. It looks like we have one for Didi. So, okay, so it's 2021. Let's say, like, fast forward 10 years. What do you think is different, and what's the same in the way that people get projects done around the house?
So think about faster. Everything is faster. Everything is quicker. Like, we had a very old way to communicate. It was called, you know, regular phones, and then we had cell phones, and then we had computers and emails. And today we have chats. Everything gets to be faster and faster. So the first thing that we all experience on a daily basis as service pros is driving from point A to point B. How would this happen in the next, I don't know, decade or so? Autonomous, maybe electric cars, definitely. So these two technologies are going to change your day-to-day. So no more gasoline, and in many ways you can actually, you know, copy a key or, you know, make a car key while the car is driving for you. There are many things in this way that you will need to change, as you know, as your processes goes different because of technology. This is one thing that I would definitely look into as a service pro. Another thing is the inventory. Your inventory, specifically locksmith. I mean, we see that also with appliance repair and many other people. Guys, your van is, I mean, the equipment in your van is more expensive than your van. You know it better than me. If this is your store, come on, you have to log it somewhere. And if you don't do that, you're basically missing a lot of opportunities. You get to a job and your equipment is not there. You don't have the piece. You don't have the key at the right time. And just think about how many times it happened to you lately. And if it did, you're doing something wrong. So get into the inventory world and automate it. And we have clients that are taking our inventory to the next level, basically looking at low inventory and automate the entire order process. So I have low keys of X, Y, and Z in like 5 different tracks. Guess what? There's an email getting out of the system towards the hardware store, and they get it to their homes. Why? Because every missing key is missing $100, and in some cases even $300 or $400. And you don't want to get this call, I have a Beamer stuck on the 405, do you have the key? And you say yes, and you drive there. That's worse. Or you just look into your inventory and don't find it, right? You need to understand what's in your inventory, what is most common what are the most common jobs? And you can see it at Workiz, right? It's not a big mystery. Just go to the reporting and figure out what's working for you and what's not. And fill your tracks with the right tools, the most common tools that goes away. That's the second thing that I would definitely look into. And of course, technology. I mean, if you're a locksmith, or even you're a garage door appliance repair, you need to understand that the world is changing. A lot of automated stuff. I mean, if you have security systems, so it's your smart lock or your smart camera, ring, or whatever, you need to know about it. You need to learn all these things. Cars are getting more, sophisticated. Go and figure out Tesla these days. You have so many of them. How can you compete in an ever-changing world? You need to learn as much as you can about technology and be the first over there, because more and more of your clients are going to purchase these things, and they will ask you to fix them. And if you're not going to be able to do that, some young 16 years old guy with, I don't know, that never shaved will beat you. And you don't want to be that guy. You want to hire the 16 years old guy and let him work with you so you can thrive.
Yeah. I love that so much. Yeah, I think Gen Z, I look at Gen Z and I'm only a millennial and I'm like, oh my God, these guys are geniuses. So we all need to keep up with the Gen Zers who are, they've been on a phone and on a tablet and on a computer since birth, essentially, right? Some of them don't even, read books anymore. Everything is on a tablet or on an electronic device. So yeah, I think definitely technology is going to keep growing and growing and growing. And I mean, I imagine like the Jetsons, if anyone's watching this and they're a little older, like the Jetsons was like, you have the house robot that does the chores around the house, the housekeeping, and, keeps up with the place. And we're already seeing that, right? Look at the Roomba vacuum, look at the home concierge platforms where it has like a full diagnostic of your home. It's like truly like, smart homes. It's just cool. It's cool to see. Robert, yeah.
Melissa, this is super important point, by the way. We have a lot of robotics and drones and autonomous and, just name it. There are a lot of technology out there. Don't get confused. Field service are not going to be replaced. They just need to be smarter. You need to support drones. You need to support robots. You will need to support all these things, and you have to do this change again. Otherwise, somebody else will do that instead of you.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. And it looks like we have another question. So as far as the Thumbtack integration goes, Robert and Didi, are there some tips that you guys might have about setting up the integration? So if somebody's already a Workiz user, or if they're just a Thumbtack user, they want to come over to Workiz, what does that look like? How does that happen?
You can go both ways. If you're already a Workiz user and going to a Thumbtack user, you want to work harder on your profile, upload a lot of pictures and projects, and really make it a rich and helpful profile to give the most details about yourself. If you are a Thumbtack user and you're not using Workiz and you start getting leads on Thumbtack, you definitely need to use Workiz to arrange all of that and see how it all goes into place and scheduling. So yeah,
one-click integration, like you click it and we're creating the magic behind the scenes connected to your Thumbtack account. And once you do that, leads immediately starting flowing into the system. You see that it's coming from Thumbtack. So every message comes with a huge logo of Thumbtack, and you can turn it into a lead, turn it into a job, or God forbid, answer quicker to the client.
Yeah. It's just all about converting those jobs to increase revenue a lot faster, right? That's our biggest thing here with the Thumbtack integration is it's all about the response time. Like Robert said, you got to get in there fast because there's competition that's ready to bid on those jobs. Looks like we have a question for Robert. So how was the transition to digital for your company? So if you do think back to, days that you used pen and paper, or maybe you were a one-man show and you didn't even have a team to help you with anything, how did you adopt technology over time? Like, we still have people that come to us that aren't digital at all. They're more old school. So how do you make that transition?
First of all, I think the transition was really necessary. I don't think I would be able to grow as much as we did without the transition. We continue working with pen and paper, and missing jobs, missing money and reports with technicians. Technology basically brings it all together. You don't miss anything. You increase your revenue and you get your business growing. So the adapting to technology was necessary. It was hard at first, like anything new, but once you see how it works and helps you in a daily business running, You just go with it and you learn it to the fullest and use it to the fullest. So the transition was good once you learn how to do it and maximize it for yourself.
Yeah. And what about like pain points? You know, maybe if you have someone younger on your team, or you have a sibling, or you have a niece, or you have someone in your life, a neighbor that's maybe more tech savvy that you want to hire. I imagine that transition can be a lot easier because they can teach sort of these older folks, maybe the baby boomer generation that's still using the pen and paper. They want to make the switch to digital. They don't know how to do it. It seems kind of daunting. You know, like Didi said, you know, Gen Z is sort of the future when it comes to this. Hire the 16-year-old guy. Don't let the 16-year-old guy beat you out of your business, right? So Robert, did you ever have any, you know, pain points or difficulties when you were making that transition, or was it just kind of like a no-brainer for you?
For me, it was a no-brainer because I saw the effectiveness and how efficient it is to help the business grow. I did have a situation that I had a younger technician and an older technician, and there is some integrations like sending invoice or a price estimate from the actual job site to the customer. The younger technician did it with no brainer. I didn't have to even teach them how to do it. You know, they go in the app, they see the clicks, they flow with it really easy. A bit of older generation and the older technician had some hard time with it, still writing it down, still waiting to come in the end of the day to the office so I can help them send it to the customer. And sometimes in this time period, you can lose a job, you know? So you can see the difference between the newer generation and the older generation when you try using and integrate these technologies in your daily day use. And definitely technology beats every time because it's fast, it's right now. And that's what the people need. That's the business we're in.
Yeah.
From my, old age, I want to say something about older people. Experience always wins. Experience with stubbornness never wins. So when you hire technicians, hire experienced technicians will always win for you more jobs and more expensive jobs, I would say. But you need to spend the time with the older guys or guys at my age or a little bit older, and teach them the bits and bytes or the 1, 2, 3 of the business. It will give you a lot back. And again, I'm defending the older generation. I think that these guys are super professional. Everybody can learn from what they do. And in return, we need to teach them how to use newer technology and make it, and this is my mission, guys, okay? To make it as simple as possible. So almost no clicks. You said, Robert, 3 clicks, let's assume no clicks. Let's take it into the automated world. Every Thumbtack lead that gets in gets an automated response from the Workiz platform. Hey, I'm Robert, I will be happy to serve. How about that, right? So this is my vision. This is our vision. This is our goal as a company. And I want to thank everyone that is helping us to fulfill this goal.
Yeah. Definitely. You can teach the old dog new tricks, Didi. One of my favorite stories too, and just working with, a few of our users, was we had someone that was trying to onboard and utilize the new Thumbtack integration. And she was old school, right? She was the dispatcher, the scheduler, sort of the admin running this business behind the scenes. And she was writing everything down on one of those big desk calendars, with pen. Or not even with a pen, with pencil and erasers, right? Because then somebody would move their appointment. Okay, let's move it here. And one day she spilled coffee on the whole calendar, right? And so it's sopping wet. Where the heck did all of the appointments go? This is why you need technology. She had all these amazing Thumbtack leads that were there, waiting. She bid on them. She paid for the lead. She went through the whole process. And she lost all of them. So imagine if that happened to you. Imagine if you had a guy come into your office, you accidentally rubbed up on a whiteboard. A lot of our guys come to us, they're using whiteboards still, writing all their jobs, all their different fleets, their different techs on a whiteboard. What happens if somebody accidentally, wipes off all your jobs? You got to start to go with the times, truly. So thank you, Robert and Didi, for joining today. Any closing thoughts before we close this out today? No?
So many. I have so many. Keep doing great. Guys, you're working very hard. Our goal is to make your life easier, to take care of the entire, our goal is to make any service pro a business manager. Give us ideas on how to make your life easier. We're always here to listen. Our support team, our customer success team, We're always on the chat, almost 24/7, and really investing more and more resources in order to help you. So if you find technology challenging, just ping us and we'll be more than happy to assist you guys.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. And if you haven't given Thumbtack a try and you're a current user of Workiz, if you're new to Thumbtack, we do have a special offer for you as it pertains to Thumbtack and popping onto their platform and seeing if you can drum up some new leads. So you can either send us an email, send us a chat, and we can tell you more about what that looks like. But we would love to see you getting more leads, getting more booked jobs, and making more money in your home service business. Thanks so much for attending today.
Bye, guys. Thank you.